Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is going to be another kind of oddball video, a little bit different from what I normally do. There has been an update that has started rolling out to the Cadillac VISTIQ. We're finally seeing the VISTIQ getting some updates. This has got quite a bit of new features. So let's talk a little bit about that. And I've taken some pictures of what things look like now just because it's going to presumably change. So we're talking about GM update 662.20. What makes this different is it was a very large update to download. So this morning when I got in the car, I noticed down here, and I tried to get a picture, but it kept going away. But I noticed down here by the clock, there was a little arrow that had appeared next to the other icons, like a little download type arrow. But it didn't really say anything, and when I went into updates, I noticed that it was downloading this update. And so for me, when I left the house this morning, it was stuck at like 66%, which is apparently a pretty common thing. So I'm guessing it was updating overnight, and then it just doesn't while you're driving. So in any case, I checked on it several times through the day. I do IT work for a living, and go and see various clients, and it was stuck at that same amount. And every time I would get in the car, I'd see a little download arrow down the right hand corner, but no progress. And then I think it was at, it still had like over a gig to download, and I was at a random client's and came back out, and it said, or while I was in that client's, it actually popped up on my app on my phone, which I don't think I've ever seen a notification like that before. And it came up and said it was ready to install. So I waited till I got home because I have better luck here, and have come out to the car to get some pictures and video of what it looks like now. So some of the big things that supposedly this update brings is we're finally going to get Android Automotive 14. So this is Android Automotive, is not to be confused with Android Auto. And that is, I'm trying to remember where, yeah, here we go. So this is the actual operating system the car is running, and so this is not to be confused with the screen mirroring thing. In fact, the VISTIQ doesn't have that Android Auto at all. So this is Android Auto 12. Lyric got 14, I think, at some point last year, and VISTIQ, even though it's a newer car, was still on 12. You can see the security patch is from 24. So anyway, it'd be interesting to see the new version of Android Automotive. Some other highlights. One of the big ones is we are going to have finally surround vision recorder. This is something that GM had promised since early Lyric days. I never got it on my 23 Lyric before I traded it in. I think some of the newer ones are getting it now. In fact, I know some of the newer ones are getting it now. So surround vision recording, and what that does is that lets you use all the cameras as in your car as dash cameras, or basically DVR to record all of those different angles. So we'll check that out and review that. There is a camera, and I'm trying to remember what they call it, but there's a camera up here in the headliner that is supposed to let you look and see what's in the back seat. So like if you've got kids back there and you want to keep an eye on them, you're supposed to be able to use that. That feature did not exist, or does not currently exist on this car. So the camera's there, the hardware's there, but no software to control it. I think we finally get the state of charge on the dash. There's some other things we'll go through. Very interesting to me. I know it's silly, but they are actually going to change the layout of this display, is what I've read. So we'll be interesting to see that. And of course, there's another one of these in the back, so I'd love to see if that changes as well. I hadn't seen whether anybody mentioned that. And just as a side note, why does the one in the back not have any other features besides HVAC? They should let you watch movies or Netflix or something back there. But total wasted opportunity. Maybe maybe we'll get that one day. Anyway. So I am going to pull the car out of my garage because I generally have better luck with the updates out in the driveway than in the garage. I don't know why that is, since the update has already supposedly downloaded, so I'm not sure what that's all about. But Let's get that update installed. Apologize about the audio. My AC's running. It's incredibly hot today, and I'm just filming this on my phone, so it's probably just not as great in general. Anyway, let's catch you on the flip side of this update. All right, so I always recommend roll down a window when you do this because reasons. Need a way to get back in. All right, so go over here, and it says 15 minutes. That's what they all say, even the smaller updates. So that's interesting to me, just because there's so much more going on. This update was 3 gigs in size. So let's turn the vehicle off. So far, this is basically like all the other updates. And yeah, so pretty unexciting compared to all the other updates. Looks exactly the same. So even though there is a ton more going into this update than any other update that I've seen by a large margin, including a totally different version of the car's operating system, looks like the front end remains the same. So I got a little concerned because the other screen went away after just a couple of minutes, which in the past has indicated the update failed. But this screen has appeared, which I've never seen before. This just has this little percentage thing in a progress bar, and it's kind of faint and dim and hard to film. But yeah, so I've not seen this screen before. I'm guessing this has something to do with the OS upgrade. And if I listen really closely, I can hear like a little computer fan type of thing in the background. I guess because the whole car's off and the computer's working hard. Don't know. But interesting stuff. So it got to 100% and then just went off. And the car made some little noises like it does when it's going to sleep. So, do we try to turn it back on? Let's try to turn it back on. Interesting. Also weird. Mildly concerning. No. Device starting. Okay. We're still doing things. I don't know what's up with that. Can I click it away? I can. That's a problem for future, David. Alrighty. Here we go. Alright, vehicle just shut off. Let's boot her back up. And I am ready, because it is hot. Let's roll this window back up. Oh, so much better. Hey, look at that. It only took them like 4 years. I mean, less than the VISTIQ, but we finally get state of charge on the dash. Hurrah. I know that's old news for some of y'all, but... And looks like they've changed the position of some things here. I don't really know what's going on with that. This all looks about the same so far. That's definitely different. It's like these buttons on the top look like they're bigger and everything's rearranged. Let's check out this. Hey, we do have a new angle here. Little guy. Hey, cool. So, yeah, that's a neat feature. We can see what's going on in the back seats and see my mess of tools in the very, very back seats. Cool. So we got standard and extended. Oh. That's just a wider angle, yeah. Neat. Okay. Standard's kind of like digital zoom, so it doesn't look nearly as good. That one looks nice and sharp. So, interesting stuff. My understanding is you can't record from that one. That'd be cool if they added that though. Do the themes still work? Now, if you haven't seen my video on the themes, you might have to go do... Okay, so themes are still here. So it did not break themes if you already did the little trick. My understanding is that this update alone does not just enable themes on its own, so you might want to go check out my other video if you haven't done that yet. Hey, now this is what I'm really excited about. So I think I'm going to pull the car back in the garage, and yeah, I have a flash drive on order, but we'll go find something. Got a little SanDisk USB-C flash drive that kind of lays flush to what you have it plugged in. I'll get that on order because I think that's going to be a good option for the to stick here in the center console. But for now, let's see if I can just use this USB-C with a card inside of it. Let's see if that'll work. A little light came on. So, now my understanding is that no matter how big the drive is, it's only going to do a 2-hour loop, which is a little bit sad, disappointing. So I don't think I'm going to be getting rid of my Garmin dash camera anytime soon, just because I don't think the quality out of this is going to be as good. Definitely not 4K. And okay, so we have surround vision recorder enabled, the security recording enabled. I think that's where, like, if the car senses something weird when you're parked, it will, if it senses somebody hitting your car or something, it's supposed to start recording. Alright, so I'm going to drive around a little bit and then come back. Alright, so we're back. We've got some recordings, presumably, and something else I noticed is when you leave the car running like I did to hop out, and we've got a little recording, I guess that's what that is, a little recording thing down the tray, or lets you know it's recording, so that's interesting. And I think, like, the menus, like the messages that have come up, the fonts and stuff are a little bit bigger than they used to be, but let's check out recordings. Alright, so recordings are paused while that makes sense. So there is one of the various views. Looks like we've got the views down here on the side. It's interesting that there's a spot for the internal camera, but that it is grayed out. So what I'm going to do, rather than go through all this right now, is I will actually download these files and upload them straight to this YouTube video. But yeah, it looks like we can go in here and scrub around. So it looks like as soon as I put the car in drive, that's when the recording started. There's one disadvantage to doing this, is you can see there's some dirt on the camera here. So that's the one good thing about the dash camera inside the vehicles. You're not gonna have that crud on there. So yeah, but that's pretty cool. I mean, it's cool to have it versus not having it at all. I mean, it looks like the quality is kind of meh, but you know, in a pinch. Like I said, I don't think I'll take my dash camera down, but it's great to have these options. So it's pretty cool. So we'll check out the actual full-fledged video files and see the specs on those. And looks like the front and rear camera have the better quality. And one thing I learned from the last video I did is those cameras are using coax, some sort of coax cable. I'm guessing that's so that it's more real time. I'm not sure. Maybe a latency thing. But at least on here, the front and rear camera look significantly better than the side ones. The side ones, hard to say. The side ones do not look as good. Looks like they might be lower resolution. Maybe it's just the angle. Yeah, so that's it. Easy peasy. We'll go back to home here, and as soon as we went back to home, it's recording again. We see the little icon came back. I know they're working on this. This looks a little bit different. It looks better. It doesn't look like the advertisements they've been teasing for this, so they may not be quite done this yet. Let's see. Let's go over here. System. Android 14. Alright, so we actually have a security patch from this year. Amazing. Looks like some of the themes or the options here do not show the state of charge. So energy engage shows state of charge. Maps does not. Assist does not. And clean does not. Interesting. So some quick thoughts after living with the update for a day. Overall, I haven't found anything super broken. But number one, I can confirm that the loop before it deletes the oldest recordings is only a couple of hours. So yeah, that would be my biggest complaint. I'm thankful that we have surround vision recording. I don't want to sound, after begging for it for so long, I don't want to sound ungrateful. So better to have it than not have it. Better to have these extra views than not have it. But I would say the biggest problem with this is the short loop. Because if you're on a road trip and something happens and it's a 8-hour road trip or something, then you've got to do what? You got to pull over and hope you have a laptop to pull the footage off, or keep an extra flash drive with you in case you want to save something. So 2 hours is very short. I think I have a 256 gig card in my dash camera, and that gets me like a week of average driving, which is sometimes hours every day. 64 gig card is in here right now, and they're saying I think these recordings are like 150 megs a piece, so it's not using anywhere near what's available to it. So I think that would be, from what I would guess, an easy fix is them to increase that limit. I don't know why they arbitrarily put such a small limit. It's just open it up to whatever's available to the card plus whatever headroom they need to make that work. The quality of the recordings is 720p, so it's which is a little bit crazy in 2026. I don't know if that's an arbitrary limitation or if that's actually what the cameras are outputting, or the system doesn't have enough power to do more. And again, I don't want to sound like sour grapes, but when you pull these and I'll put some here on the YouTube video, but when you pull these recordings, they're usable. And again, I'm happy to have them versus not having them at all, especially the additional angles of the rear and the sides and everything. But when you compare this to even a mid-tier dash camera you buy on Amazon, it's the difference is a lot. So that's enough complaining about that. I mean, it's cool to have it for sure. I'm glad we finally have it. The only other thing I will say, and let me exit out of this so it starts recording again. So of course we've got this little icon here that appears when the system is recording, and they have, hold on a second. Let me go back in here. Aha! Okay. I just now noticed it. So one thing I was missing today, I don't even know why I care. I guess I just sometimes there's instances where I'm curious what the signal is in the 4G or 5G signal. So this little, I don't know if this is a bug or what, but the signal strength thing, I think it says 5G right now, that goes away when it's recording. So I'm in the app right now, which is why we don't have the recording symbol. So I'm going to exit the app. and it's going to make a liar out of me. Oh, no, there it goes. So that's the only bug I would consider that a bug. That's the only bug I've noticed so far. The only thing they broke. Less broken and more what the heck, guys, is this arrangement of these three icons down here. Like, okay, this might be a little OCD, but you know, we've got this one centered here. That's fine, but why not, like, what? I don't know what's going on here. Like, this one should be like down here, maybe, or that one should be up there, or you know, some sort of. Why did we do this? These weren't broken. Why did we move those around? All right, I'm going to stop griping about it. Overall, I'm thankful to have the update, and excited to see what else comes down the road. But if anyone from GM Software happens to watch this, clean this up, fix this. Alrighty, guys, that does it for this video. Hopefully you'll get this update soon if you haven't already, and hopefully you'll consider subscribing to the channel. We'll see you next time.